Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Episode 15 of The Trenches coming your way from your headquarters in Braintree, Massachusetts. As always, I'm Jay Fine, joined by SK and Don Gordon over in New York right now, zooming in. We love having you on. We miss you, but he's up in New York doing his thing. What's been going on, guys? We got a lot going on. We got a big week in sports coming up. Had a big week in sports. We got plenty of football to talk about. A little basketball to talk about, but before, we got a couple things, right? I know, Steve, you had a couple things you wanted to get into?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the other real quick. I know we really don't talk much baseball. I won't even say any, but much baseball.
Right.
St. Louis Cardinals, they came off with a 1.8% chance to make the playoffs back in early August. These boys clinched it September 28th. 17 straight wins.
Crazy.
How hard is that to do in baseball? Because I don't know.
17 straight wins. 17 straight. That's very, very difficult. That's it. Honestly, I gotta say I have not probably been paying as much attention to baseball as I should have this year, but 17 straight wins is difficult. That's crazy.
Yeah, I never heard of anything like that. So I just wanted to kick off the show by giving them their props.
Yeah,
off rip. I had to give them their props, their claps, all that. Yeah,
we'll give it to them. They deserve their claps.
Yeah,
they get their claps.
I gotta give it to them. And then Manny Pacquiao, he retired. He officially retired today.
Bro, hold on. How you know what? You know what the most tired thing I've ever heard in my entire life?
What's that?
Is MMA fighters, all them dudes. Oh, I'm retiring now. I'm retired. Motherfucker, you've been retired 5 times. All right? You know what I'm saying? How you gonna come and tell me you're retired? But we know that if Mayweather wants to show up again, wants to give you the bag, you'll be like, you know what? Politics can wait a couple months. I'm retired and do it. Get out of here. I don't care. You're not retired until you're dead. Friggin' Mike Tyson.
I thought he was retired.
They just been fighting. People were fighting. Don't come over here and tell me you're retired. They dangle a little money in your face, you're gonna jump. So it is what
I thought he was retired.
I thought he was retired already.
That's what I had to say.
Has he been fighting this whole time? Have we been missing it?
No, I don't think he has. I don't think he has.
See, that's the thing about some of these dudes that do boxing and MMA is when they get to the point where they're big shots and they're fighting for titles, sometimes they fight once every 18 months or 2 years. And then it's oh, you haven't fought in 2-3 years. I just assumed you're done. But no, you just been taking a break. No, this dude hasn't fought in how long, Gordon? Do you know how long?
I don't know. I know the last fight was probably the Mayweather fight, which was a few years ago, wasn't it? Plus, he's been doing some smaller fights to keep himself in shape. But
I don't know. Wasn't he the governor of the Philippines too?
He's a politician. He's a politician
right now. That's why I was he's retiring again.
Yeah,
I heard somewhere through the grapevine he's running for a higher seat in the Philippines government, and so I think that might be why this is going on too. I heard this somewhere. I'm not exactly sure if he's going to be the president of the Philippines or what that kind of looks like, but I know he's running for, so that might be yo, I know you're doing this, but you need to probably officially retire. We can't have the president or one of our leaders of our country getting his ass beat on TV.
On the contrary, I think the greatest thing ever would be seeing some nation's president step into the ring and throw hands. I mean, come on.
The only one
that'd be crazy.
The only one that can do that is Putin, dude. The only one that can do that is Putin and get away with it.
Bro, y'all haven't seen this in soccer?
What?
Bro, there was a president of some country. He paid to get on the team. He owns the team, but he I don't know what the fucking logistics of it, but he was actually a player in an actual game.
He's I'm suiting up today,
season.
Guys.
And there was nothing that they could say to him.
Yeah,
So, look, after the match, I think they got their ass whooped 4-1. Bro was out in the locker room handing out money to each of the players.
he's sorry guys, that's my fault.
That's my fault.
Yeah.
That's my bad. But
I've always wanted
a country to run,
I've always wanted to be goalie for a day, and I couldn't stop anything.
I mean,
the power of money right there. It's the power of money right there.
Right?
I mean, it's crazy, right? Again, Vladimir Putin. So at Duxbury, Duxbury, they love their hockey. A lot of the guys played pro or they played at a high level.
Yeah.
the Duxbury dads played for one of the Team USAs, and they went out, and Putin was on the hockey team. I have no idea if he actually was good at hockey or whatever he did, but he was on the thing. And basically, they told them, I think it was right before the game, they were like, yo, Putin's going to be there. They're going to give him the puck, and he's going to score. And looked at him, they were like, yeah, they thought, oh, you got to be joking. They went in there, and the guys are trying to speak Russian to him on the ice, but like, yo, you know the deal type shit. And then all of a sudden, he goes and scores. It's like, all right, we can play now. And I'm like, damn, that's so crazy. Like, they really just said,
of money, man.
So you know, this is how it's going to go down. And like, it is what it is. I'm like, shit, that's wild.
It is what it is.
That is absolutely hysterical.
Bro, yeah, we just had to start it off with getting those feel good stuff.
Damn. No, I love that. I love hearing that. And also too, I think I don't know. Yeah, I think it's hysterical. I'm just picturing Putin.
Like Vlad. Like Vladimir.
Yeah.
Out on the ice.
Just deacon people.
What do you have? Security around him too? Were they in skates?
The guy's like, what?
I feel like Putin is like, I mean, you know, I'm not like pro anything, but I feel like Putin is one of those guys who's just really good at everything he does, or he's like good enough to fake looking really good. You know what I'm saying? Like type thing. And if anyone tries to say otherwise, it's like, do you not know?
You're gonna get snuffed out if you say
like, do you not know that I like did this, that, and the other thing? Like,
man, we're gonna get into the logistics of it. I did this, that, and the other thing. Like, don't be the other thing.
Like I would ask that dude, that Duxbury dad. I'd be like, hey, just out of curiosity, did any of you guys like ask what would happen if you didn't let him score? like what happens if you don't let him score? Like,
wasn't
what
even
happens?
a thought. We were gonna let that motherfucker score.
The Cold War lasts another 50 years.
All right,
what happened, bro? Like, what happens?
You think I want to not let Vladimir Putin, one of the heads of the KGB back in the day, just score when I'm being told, do it? And I'm like, you know what?
Let that man do it.
Right. I do not have that set of skills. I am not the dad from Taken. I cannot handle that business. All right, I'm good.
Or you go around saying I'm so good at defense. This dude put a hit out on me.
One or two ways.
Yeah, you can spin it, throw it into the spin cycle.
Spin zone.
Oh shit. We got two basketball things going on real quick. Obviously, I mean, we all know this. We've known it for a while, but the Lakers, you know, they were taking their team pictures the other day, and they're just an absolute wagon. Just like, what a unit. As much as nothing would give me more pleasure than to see them not win the NBA championship, it's kind of like, how do they not win the NBA championship?
I don't understand. If they don't make it to the finals, if not win the chip, yeah, you're going against, you know, defending champs of the Bucks, but at the same time, they don't have the fucking depth that these guys have. And then on the opposite side of that, still in the Eastern Conference, we're talking about the Nets, and they're always going to be a contender, but I don't see anyone in the West really giving them the business. Maybe the Jazz will bam them up a few games out of a series, but other than that, that team's looking really nice. I mean, they got some old heads on it. Don't get me wrong.
They could play.
But these motherfuckers are jumping out the gym and still shooting that thing.
Yeah.
And still shooting that thing. And then you also have Rondo back too.
I believe so, yeah.
With that mindset, with his unselfish play.
Yeah.
And then let me go on the other side of that. Then you have Russell Westbrook. That's going to be the triple-double king. You know what I'm saying? Like, all these players, they know what's, like, up for grabs right now, and they're just going to do what they have to do just to go win that ship. They're going to do what they're going to have to do to win that ship because, like, you got to think, if this is not the year, there's pretty much no other year that they're going to have.
100%. This is so their year.
Like, there's going to be no other time for them to get this. That's what I think about it.
Yeah, dude, I think it's going to be kind of crazy. I'm just curious because now, you know, it was LA. LA was LeBron's team in the first couple of years, but now they've added so many personalities, and not like light personalities, like very strong personalities. You know what I'm saying? Like KD is a personality, cool. Harden's kind of whatever. Like, you know, I'm not talking about the Nets, but like, bro, Russell Westbrook, like, he is a lot. Rondo, he gets pissed off everything. Did you see the press conference the other day? Was that the other day, or was that? Because I saw a press conference where Rondo was like, "Oh, like how's it feel to be back to be LeBron or whatever?" And he was like fake crying, like, "Oh, did they miss me?" Like, oh, and I'm just like, okay, that's curious on how that's gonna be in the locker room. Melo's the boy. He already understands after being the Blazers, like his role, bro. He's coming off the bench. He's doing his thing. No, in no way, shape, or form is Melo trying to step out, but
right.
dudes on that team have been through a lot of things. So I'm curious to see how well and how fast. I mean, they're all freak athletes. So I think they're going to blend well.
Yeah.
Curious to see how long it will take them to get that, championship team. You feel me?
I feel like they would just have to break it down into sections. Like, obviously, there's going to be the 5 that starts the game. And then, you're going to have the bench players come off. But, like, I feel like it's going to be like a whole damn team substitution at that point. Because if you look at their depth, like, they have motherfuckers that can go all the way down to the third string with it.
Oh, for sure.
And you know what I'm saying?
Actually,
like every single position. Like, it's up there. Like, I can see that actually happening. And so my thought process of how this season will play out is first team go out there, find all the people who can gel with each other. The second team, they're going to have to be the same thing. But also, you have to consider, who's going to be my shooter guy? Who's going to be the defender out here? Who's actually going to be the rebounding big? And who's going to be the scoring big? Because, like, those people are all out there. AD, the scoring big. You got Dwight, the defending big. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got, all right, let's go to the guards now. We got Rondo, the assist. You know what I'm saying? The defense. Opposite of that, we got Russell Westbrook. You know what I'm saying? Triple-double king out here. So, like, you have all that. You have all these, like, pieces in play. It's just how you're going to manage it. And I find that if you just break it down into, like, group 1, group 2, group 3, that they'll have the highest level of success.
I mean, I hate giving LeBron any credit for anything, but I will say that he does seem to be one of the best suited personalities and figures in the league to take on a group of strong personalities and manage them and keep them kind of all in check. Because I feel like when you got the greatest dude on, in the game telling you, what to do and, keeping you in check, it's kind of tough to say, anything. You know what I mean? Like, right. That's the thing is, like, when you get to the NBA, like, or even not just the NBA, but, like, when you get to, I feel like, any professional league, like, I feel like with anybody, there's a line that can start to get drawn where it's like you got some people who are really good leaders, right, but they're not necessarily like the best players in the team, right? And when you were in like high school, college, like growing up, those dudes, they could still get like respected and they had their impact. But like I feel like when you get to the pros, sometimes for some people that have big egos, like those dudes, they don't carry the same weight because it's like, dude, you can't play like I can. I don't want to hear what you got to say, right? So it's like LeBron, when he's saying it, what is anyone going to say to him? You know what I mean?
You really can't.
You can't say anything.
You really can't.
You can't. So I don't know. I'll give him the credit and say that I do think if there's one dude who can keep that team in check, is him.
Right.
Maybe him and Chris Paul. But like, yeah, I am curious to see how that all works out with all the big personalities. And I just wish, I don't know, we did have a couple years where we got to go into the basketball season not knowing who the inevitable champ was going to be already. For a while, remember, we was either Golden State or Cleveland, Golden State or Cleveland.
Too many years.
And then we finally had a couple years where it said, wow, it's basketball again. Anybody can win. It's anybody's game. And now it's back to one or two teams, LA or Brooklyn. LA or Brooklyn.
I know, but the thing is, like, it kind of discourages me a little bit because
for sure,
we're back to the super teams.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I thought it was annoying, just like you were saying, Justin. It's like going back and forth. Golden State, OKC, freaking the Heat, and just kind of going back and forth. And I'm like, I don't want to watch the same guys keep going back. It's like watching Alabama go to the go to the national championships over and over again. Like, we get it. Like, y'all are gonna probably win, but like, we want to see more. And I liked it when it was like everyone had the duos. Every team had a duo.
Yeah.
That's why you knew everybody had a shot.
Facts.
And it's like Lakers say the super team, and what did Steve say? I don't know how you're not making the championship. We got the Nets. It's like, if you guys are healthy, I don't know how you make it far. Facts. And then it's like, okay, the Heat's gonna try with defense, but fuck Kyle Lowry. I mean, Kyle Lowry, he's a good flopping athlete, but it's fine. And then, you know what I'm saying? But like, then look at it. What teams have the depth that the Lakers have. So it's just like, now we're back to super teams that everyone's going to jump on the 2 or 3 or 4 teams there is. And it's going to happen. They're going to try and maybe lose a game or 2 in the playoffs and then come back and just be, oh, wow, we're great. I don't know.
And that's what they need. But like in the NBA, they have to continue to shake shit up. I mean, they are definitely a players league, and like players are going to go and sign where they want to go and be with friends or whatever the situation is, being close to family. But it's just like, yo, make this a competition. Make it interesting.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Competitive.
Like yeah, of course competitive, but like make it interesting for the fans. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you can go to a team that's already stacked and then just go get your easy ring and then just ride off into the sunset. But it's like, yo, where's the grit? Where's the determination?
Exactly.
Where's the Dame fucking time at? You know what I'm saying? This dude's doing it by himself up there in Portland year after year. And still people don't want to come and sign with him. He's showing the loyalty. He's straight up showing you the loyalty, and nobody still wants to go up there with him. And that's a fucking problem.
Yep.
Because everybody wants to just go and get coddled by LeBron. Be your own goddamn man. Yeah, the ship is going to be easy, but fuck. Was it really worth it?
I mean, that's one of the things, though, that I feel like it becomes such an issue, too, is like you look at a team like Portland and like a guy like Dame, and it's like, how at a certain point is a team like Portland just screwed because they're like Portland and they're not LA or Miami or New York or like Chicago? You know what I mean?
But you're still right there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I get you.
I've definitely been to Portland. Shout out to all my old UNA teammates. We already know about Portland. But anyway, it's the fact that like
Portland, boo.
It's a nice city. You know what I'm saying? Like little people, a little weird up there. Don't get me wrong. I watched that show
Portlandia.
I watched that show Portlandia with Fred and them. But they are weird and different. But still, it's a good spot to be at to like actually grow and, you know, establish like, yo, this is where we're gonna win championships. This is where things are gonna get done. And why? Because we saw Dame stick it out the whole time here and was balling.
I'd like to see him give it up and come to Boston, though.
I'm not gonna be mad at that.
Yeah, I will be mad
I think
at
we
that.
can all agree on that one.
Oh shit.
Oh man. But like, dude, we got teams, you know, making moves. We got a lot of guys trying to figure out where they want to be next. But like, how about this dude Ben Simmons just not showing up? And
Continue
I get it.
Show up. Continue to not show up. Fuck that.
See, the thing I don't get about Ben Simmons is that it doesn't. I'm not getting any kind of idea or thoughts that the 76ers don't want him back. And it seems like the team's coming around. And how Joel Embiid had a conference the other day, right? Basically trying to say that, you know, like we're trying to stop the rumors now. Like, you know, we love him. He's our guy and everything. But Ben Simmons is still not showing up. And I know he's not asking for more money after that last playoff run. I know he's not asking for more money. It's just, you know, he's obviously not playing to his potential. And it's like, by him not showing up, is he blaming the organization?
I think he's asking, didn't he ask for a trade?
You know what I'm saying? Because it can't be himself. Because if he was blaming himself and wants to get better, he would show up for practice with the team. You know what I'm saying?
No, I feel that. Did he ask for a trade?
I don't know.
I'm trying to think.
I don't know if he ever officially asked.
But you heard of something like that, though, right?
There's rumors. There's always
rumors. But I'm saying, like, as of this week, like, I heard some, you know, just because the Joel Embiid situation, like, he had the whole conference going on, and they were saying, like, yo, we want him. But I swore I saw something earlier this week that said Ben demanded for a trade. Even though the whole organization wanted him back. You know what I'm saying?
They want him back. They don't want to get rid of him.
No, not at all. And that's why I'm like, I don't know what the hell's going on in the fucking PR world up there, but they got to figure that shit out, man.
Clearly, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
You know, after last season's kind of issues.
Debacle? Yeah.
This game, this process of them trying to figure out their team.
I like what you did there, the process.
I think the Philadelphians should continue to trust the process. I think the process is done.
The process is done, bro.
Process is over.
What you got about this?
You've waited long enough and you're still lost.
They've been talking about the process for over 5 years now. I'm straight on the process. The process did not work.
Man,
the process is over.
I'm a big believer that any process, I don't care what team you are, the process this, the process that. The process has to start with somebody who's mentally tough enough to take on the role of being a star player in a professional sports organization, right?
Facts.
And I really think with Ben Simmons, what it comes down to is not his athleticism, it's not his God-given talents, it's up here. It's up here. And that's something that very few people can get taught or overcome if they don't have it. And so at a certain point, I've seen enough of what I need to see out of Ben Simmons to say he does not have it up here to be the star go-to player leading a franchise. He might be a great complementary player. You might be able to throw him on the court with two other superstars, and when all eyes are on him, granted he did have Joel Embiid, but I don't know. He's not going to be a go-to guy. No. He doesn't have it. He's not. He can't step up and hit a clutch shot. He's not going to win you a game 7. He doesn't have it, and that's not. There's not something the process is going to fix.
As a reminder to all the listeners out there, in that last playoff series that they were involved in, it was only Seth, his little brother, and Joel, who scored in any of the fourth quarters for that whole series.
Is that true?
That's
just the two of them score.
That's an actual fact in the fourth.
And
quarter. That's an actual.
That's an actual statistic.
That's an actual statistic.
That's
bro.
disgusting.
I watched it.
That's
and I'm like,
crazy.
this is the craziest shit ever. Just so everybody can know.
Absolutely disgusting.
Yeah. Wasn't Joel Embiid kind of hurt too? But because they were
his knee was done.
He was so hurt, but because everyone else was being so soft, he kept playing. Shout out to my brother, bro. That's what happened. Just become a real ace. You know how it is. Joel Embiid. But think about it. That man was hurt. He was decrepit, and all of a sudden, he was the only one doing anything for them because Ben Simmons was mentally just not there. Freaking everyone else was kind of falling to pieces. And I literally saw the process leaving their face. They were failing the process at that moment, So
bro. Just straight up crumbling.
Yeah, I feel bad for Joel Embiid. He deserves a better counterpart.
He's different
as a point
MVP candidate that just can't with an all-star team that fails to be all-stars, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. And if you're that organization, you can't spend years trying to fix what can't be fixed, what's already broken. You have to say, hey, damn, we thought we had a championship roster. Turns out we don't. Some of these players aren't going to be able to perform up to what we thought, and we got to move on while Joel Embiid is still young, healthy, and in his prime.
It's simple as that.
I mean,
it's just straight up as simple as that.
Uh-oh.
Oh, hold on, Gordon. Your battery's running low.
What the hell is this?
The battery's running low. You good?
Oh shit.
Did we save him? We saved him.
Hey.
Oh, we outside. Oh, we good, baby. We back. You thought you can get rid of me? Get out of here.
Boy got revived like he playing Call of Duty or some shit.
There it is.
Oh, snap.
Hey, speaking of saving asses, bro. Tucker's kick. Kick in Detroit.
Oh.
That man is bad, bro.
Bad. That
man is so bad that I got to tell these people he got me 19 points in fucking fantasy.
Crazy.
19. A kicker getting you 19 goddamn points in fantasy football? Unheard of. That boy should go in the Hall of Fame right now.
Not just ice in his veins.
And opera singer, don't you forget.
He is. He got them vocals too.
He's actually an opera singer?
Yeah. He got them vocals too. You gotta see some clips about him.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, he's a dude. He's a dude, bro.
Honestly,
bro, he literally studied opera music.
He's
and
a cold motherfucker.
He did it one time in an interview I saw a couple of years ago.
Yep.
He's actually wicked good. It's incredible. You would never know.
He's on this shit, man.
Oh, I believe it.
He's on this shit.
Wow.
He's a weirdo, but he's crazy dope. But man, what was it? 66, 67 yards?
66 yards.
66 yards. NFL record
was 64.
NFL.
Yeah, I believe the previous was 64, bro.
Yeah.
And it was just crazy. And it's funny because we're watching this game and he goes for that kick. And my boy was like, there's no way he makes it. And I'm like, we're having a Sunday fun day. We're hammered. There's a very high chance this is going to work right here. I don't know. Things work out when you're drunk, just so you know. Don't listen to that, kids.
I was about to say, don't listen to this man, bro.
So
thanks.
He goes for this kick. And it's spinning. It's going. And all I hear is boink. And I'm like, is it going to fall forward? And it and goes through. I'm like, no way.
From that camera angle, bro, I couldn't see shit. I just saw it go up,
Yep.
and then it just went down. I was like, I don't know where the ball is. Refs were just looking at each other.
Yeah.
And I just saw the hands slowly go. I was like, holy shit, this boy is cold, man.
Crazy.
Just crazy.
Yo.
The Ravens are having a hell of a fucking first, quarter of the season?
I mean, they.
No, it's not the first quarter of the season. 17 games.
That's right. You're right. We're on to 17.
I mean, look, they're basically like a fumble away from being 3-0, and that's after all these injuries that they've had. And
so many injuries.
It's kind of crazy. But I don't know. Look, I've said for a long time, I think John Harbaugh is one of the best coaches in football. I really do.
Shout out to the Harbaugh.
Yeah, for sure. I really like him, and I think the Ravens are just always like they're always a team that's competitive. They just find a way to compete. You know what I mean?
Oh, without a doubt.
They've stayed relative and competitive over the years, like even when they haven't had much to work with, and they just find a way to like be scrappy and stay in games. So, yeah, I think this year, obviously, I think a lot of us, they were pretty heavy favorites to make a run on, come out of the AFC and do some damage, at least in the playoffs. But now, they lost their 3 starting running backs. They lost their best, their number 1 cornerback. So tough road for them, but they're 2-1. They're winning some tough football games.
Yeah, they're finding
That's what you got to do, right?
They're finding
ways. See, I'm looking at them, and I mean, they're starting off real hot, but longevity, I don't see it. I think they might sneak into the playoff. I mean, no, they're probably going to make it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think they might go.
But, they're probably going to make it to the playoffs, but I don't winning a Super Bowl. I don't see them winning a Super Bowl, just because of the injuries. And, like, you got to think about it, right? Look at all the injuries where they were. Man, they were all practice stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is before these games, stuff like that. So, like, you got to look at it. So, is it their practice fields that are hurting them? Who's hurt? Who's getting hurt? Who's not controlling practice to the event? If it's them hitting each other in practice, like what coaches are not slowing them down? Like, what's going on? What's happening behind there that is leading up to all these injuries?
Right.
You got things, injuries, and you don't got personnel.
Can't do anything. Yeah, you can't do anything
do nothing
at that point. But who hasn't been having a lot of injuries, still having a fucking tough go at it? The Chiefs, bro.
The Chiefs.
They had a game won.
Look,
it all crumbled.
I've been saying this since day one.
Crumbled.
The Chiefs, everybody talks about the Chiefs like they're one of the best teams in football, and they have one of the best offenses in football.
For sure.
But they
definitely have one of the best offenses.
They have such a mediocre defense that at times is even below average. That I don't even. Do you disagree? You think that's a good defense?
I mean, I will never say they have the best defense, but I do love their secondary. The thing that Tyrann Mathieu and them boys are able to do is dope, but they do get run up on. And I can really blame. I'll probably blame the inside the box, from a linebacker to a line.
That's exactly what's going on.
But their DBs, I think DBs rock. I love their secondary. But when everything in the box, though, that's what needs to be adjusted and looked at.
If you watch that game, bro, their fucking tackles and their nose guards and their linebackers, I believe it was only one outside linebacker were just getting shoved any which direction they wanted to. Mm-hmm. That's why Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert was so like easily to like look down the field, see, all right, boom, I have this zone open. All right, I have this zone open. I'm gonna look off Tyrann. He's gonna go over there. I'm gonna pass it back over the flats to the middle. We're gonna get up, get a 15-yard game, boom, and like let's just keep going. And that's all they kept hitting with, like the last 2 minutes of that game, and that's what got them in that position to win.
100%.
Like,
I mean,
I just don't understand what's going on in KC, and I hope Andy Reid's doing a lot better. I saw that he got carded off
big
after
facts.
the game. I saw that he definitely did get carded off of the game. Haven't heard anything or any other updates, so I'm gonna assume that's a good thing, a positive thing.
Yeah, I think so.
They just need to figure some shit out, man.
I've heard some positive things about Andy Reid coming back, but I just really feel for him and his family, man. Like, there's just so much shit going on with them. Yeah. Like, the son dying. Last Super Bowl, the other son getting in an accident. Yeah. And him having problems being in the hospital. Man, I just feel bad for the whole Reed family as a whole. I hope they get better. I hope things start being, more prosperous for them in their health,
Facts.
which is they should definitely look into as well.
Facts.
But you know what? The Kansas City as a whole, they have their own holes, but I definitely like what they do from their secondary. But luckily, they're not the only team in the league working with their secondary right now. I don't know.
Who else is working?
I don't know if you've noticed that man TB12 is doing all of the recruiting.
That motherfucker's on that phone like Adam Shefty.
Literally,
he's moving like Adam Shefty out
what
here,
he
man.
does.
For
he's
real, though.
literally. He said this is Tom Brady. Let me do it. They're like boom boom boom. All right, what do we need this week? Oh damn. Okay, we need a tight end for next season. I got Gronk. Okay, AB, I still like him. Hold on. All right, hold on. All right, we good. You're taking minimal, right? All right, bet. All right, we got 2 guys. Oh wait, we need a DB. Something's going on back there. I think I know a guy. Hold on. Boop 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 boop. Hey, I know you're gonna tell the media that multiple people are looking at you, but we already know ain't nobody looking at you. Bring that ass for minimum. All right, let's get it. Boom. That's exactly what happened on all the accounts that he asked for. You know it. Tom made a call, made it happen. He said,
"Look, I just gotta say, like, I'm very happy for Richard Sherman, bro. He did a complete turnaround from the last time that we talked about this man or brought his name up." Because we were speculating like a motherfucker what's going on in this man's life, and clearly some shit was going on for the fact that he was not on the team. Tom went out and got this man, and that's going to revitalize his whole fucking career again. And I promise you that. Because that's the same thing that happened with AB. Look at him, balling now. Got another Super Bowl down there. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what Tom is made for. This is what he's in Tampa Bay for, to be a fucking recruiter. For when people go down in the season, like, hey, we got one of the greatest of all time to ever do it.
Yep.
Don't you want to play with him for his potential last season? You're a great player. He's a great player. Let's make this work. And that's exactly what happened. So, once again, real quick, I just want to say, good for you, Richard Sherman. And y'all do y'all thing down there. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the weakest part of their team, right? Their secondary.
Big time.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So,
big time.
I mean, what? Richard Sherman's what? He's 32, 33?
He still got it.
A little bit
We'll say
older.
that.
Yeah, he's a little bit older.
Yeah, he's a
Little
little bit older, but we'll say he still got it.
Yeah, no, it's not Richard Sherman of his prime, but definitely a serviceable cornerback in the
yes.
cornerback in the NFL. For
Veteran
sure.
leadership on
Exactly,
that. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
He's won a Super Bowl,
Yeah.
I need to get y'all's opinion because I like Richard Sherman being a big man of his stature and in the DB position. And I've seen him make some plays. I do think his speed has come down a little bit, and that was problematic in some of them games for the 49ers and him just not being able to get to certain positions. And so that, that's a little worrisome for me. I do think he knows the game. He's brilliant, so he'll be able to put himself in the right spots, but I do think he's going to be late to some big plays. I don't know if you guys have looked at, Richard Sherman and like maybe seen his hips, seen how he kind of does his game. But like, what are y'all's thoughts on Richard Sherman? What do you think he's going to be able to bring to the Buccaneers?
I don't know if he's necessarily going to be that dude you can stick on the other team's best receiver and lock him down for the entire game, but he's definitely that dude that can help a little. He can help be that veteran presence, like Steve just said, in the secondary. He can obviously come in and be serviceable to the point where he's a better option than most free agent corners and most second and third string cornerbacks. So I think he's definitely a good depth piece and probably a good asset. Look, he's probably going to make a couple plays here and there too. We're probably going to see him have an impact on the team. Am I expecting him to be like a straight up game changer, like shut down corner? He's comes in and makes the whole difference in their defense? No. But do I think it's a great move for them? Yeah, for sure.
I believe he's going to play his position, play his role to the best of his ability. But beyond that, I think he's really going to be in here for play recognition for some of the other players. He's a top quarterback, was a top quarterback in this league. Some of the new guys or guys who are getting bounced around for different positions are going to need someone who's going to be like, hey, I know you did this last time, but like, yo, this is how it's supposed to be done here. Just because, like what you said, Gordon, he lost a lot of speed. You know what I'm saying? Lost a lot of quickness as well. So the best thing he could do is set up other players in that same position to be in the spots, to be in the position to make a play. You know what I'm saying? When shit does go down. But yeah, him being that top tier guy, stuck on the best receiver for the opposite team, nah, that's over and done with.
No. Yeah, 100%. I agree. Especially, but like one of the things, like what do you say? He's 32, 33.
Yeah.
He's been on some fantastic teams and he's done a lot. He's definitely going to be able to bring some guidance and bring some know-how on how to get better and how to help lead that Buccaneers defense. Cause they have a lot of experienced dudes on that team, especially on the D line, except from a linebacker standpoint. But I feel like from like a secondary, he's going to be able to bring some leadership to them and be able to help them get in the right direction. So I'm excited to see how that goes.
Yeah. Richard Sherman, age 33. He is 33 years old. He'll be 34 in March. So they don't even have to worry about that at this time. They just got to get through this fucking not even 75% of the year and then go on from there. Yeah. But I think it's going to be a good spot. I think it's going to be a good spot for him, good placement. And we know Tom's going to give him that one time for the one-time talk. Yeah. Like, bro, you can't be wilding out here. You did the same thing to AB. He really wasn't wilding out until he got off the squad. Then he got his ass right back in check when he got back on the squad in Tampa. We haven't heard about AB. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. So I feel like we're going to hear that talk just because that's the kind of dude that Tom is. But fuck it. We speaking about Tom so much. We got the greatest game of the year coming up, folks. We got a Sunday night game. Justin, set us up.
Oh, my God. All right, Sunday night, we got GOAT versus GOAT, right? We got the greatest quarterback to ever do it, Tom Brady, coming back to face his coach, his mentor, arguably the greatest coach to ever do it, Bill Belichick. Tom Brady coming back to Gillette, playing for the first time in Gillette, not in a Patriots uniform, and it's all happening on Sunday Night Football. It doesn't really get much better than that. It really doesn't. The only thing that's bumming me out a little bit.
Who you rooting for, bro? Because I'm torn. Fuck all that other shit.
Look, I have to, in my heart of heart, I have to root for the Patriots.
Have to, right?
I have to root for the Patriots. And to be honest, it's actually funny. A lot of people are like, going to watch that game and like be sad. I'm going to be sad at the beginning. Then I'm going to be angry. I'm going to be angry that Tom Brady is not a Patriot. Like, I'm not going to sit there and watch that and think, oh, I wish he was still here. I'm going to sit there and be angry that he's not still here. So, first off, I'm rooting for the Patriots, okay?
All right.
I'm rooting for the Patriots, but he's not here. I get it's not really his fault, but he ain't here. So, Patriots, they're here. They're my team. I'll stick with them. I still love you, Tom, but I got to root for the Patriots. The other thing, though, that really kind of bugs me a little bit is I was really hoping, and when I looked at the Patriots' schedule, I think this is kind of what the NFL was trying to help them out with. They should be 2-1, 3-0 right now. And we should be looking at two teams that are either 2-1 or 3-0
exactly
battling it out.
Yep.
That's the only thing that bugs me a little bit is that we got both teams coming off of a loss. The Bucs just lost last week, and the Patriots are disappointing, and they're 1-2. It takes a little bit of the luster out of it, but at the end of the day, this is still the greatest football matchup, in theory, to ever happen. Could it be an awful game?
For sure.
For sure it could be an awful game.
Yes,
but
sir,
in theory, this is the most highly anticipated football game of all time.
Gee, what you guys say?
Man.
You've been itching.
Hey, man.
About this.
You know what I'm saying? I've been watching a lot of ESPN today. Volume off, obviously. I'm supposed to be on calls. But at the end of the day,
get this man a raise.
We talk about it being Bill versus Tom, the greatest coach versus the greatest player. But that's not it. It's going to be Tom Brady and his New England Buccaneers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the New England Patriots. And if we really want to talk about matchups, we're going to talk about the GOAT and his new predecessor. Think about that. That's what we're looking for. You know what I'm saying? Because when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, the players are going to play. Bill's not playing. He's on the sideline. So let's see what Tom's going to do. He knows his schemes. He knows how he plays. Tom is smart. Let's see how he picks his points and see what he does on the field, and finds his guys. Mac Jones, he's a young man with a lot of potential. All right. He is very precise passes. And I think it's amazing. And it's hard for me to give a man so much credit. I really don't like giving people credit unless I have to. But this dude has that precision. What sucked, especially after watching last week, which makes me nervous, dudes couldn't catch. It was like, ooh, dab. You know what I'm saying? Like, dudes are dabbing in the middle of the field. And
ain't no really Cam out there either, so you know something's wrong.
You know what I'm saying? And then, you can't be blaming Cam for this. But one of the things that pissed me off because I had this dude on my team, Jonnu Smith. That dude could have had about 3 or 4 big plays, but dude couldn't catch for his life.
Couldn't catch a goddamn cold if it was staring him in the face.
He couldn't. Bro, the cold really, oh my God. He could not catch a cold to save his. It was terrible. But it's just, you know what? There's a lot of things to be had. There's a lot of things to be made. Honestly, at the end of the day, I think Tom and them are going to win. But defense, especially that man Judon. Judon's looking good. I'm gonna keep talking about Judon, especially him and his red long sleeve.
I told you.
That man is different. How you gonna wear a long sleeve? How you gonna do that in the warm weather?
I tried to tell y'all that man's cold as shit, man. That man was cold as shit.
Oh yeah.
But, go ahead.
No, I guess my thing is initially I think, and maybe it's this way for a lot of Patriots fans, I was excited to see, okay, how does Tom Brady play in it for when he comes back in a different uniform at Gillette with the Patriots fans, cheering and Bill Belichick scheming on the other side of the ball. Nobody knows Tom better than Bill Belichick, right?
At night too.
At night.
We also have I want to get all the fucking things.
Everything. Prime time, Sunday night game. You're the only game on. You're at night. It's prime time. All eyes on you. The most anticipated game ever. He's probably feeling more butterflies for this than he has for some of his Super Bowls, to be completely honest.
That's exactly what I was about to piggyback on. Like, bro, this is the world stage is on you. And it's not like you're a rookie. It's not like anything like that. Like, you're the man. Everybody knows you're the man. But you're going back. That's like going to see that one ex that you just couldn't let go. And now you're finally about to go see her. And you're like, oh, shit, I'm kind of feeling nervous again. What the fuck you got to feel nervous? I'm being attacked
right now? Y'all
hey, if you got attacked, you got attacked, brother. No one else. Nah, I'm playing. But real talk, it's like that. It's exactly that feeling. Like, why the fuck am I nervous? I know I'm nervous. I shouldn't be nervous. I'm still fucking nervous. Like, we also have to put that in speculation, too. Or actually to the forelight, because that's something that I don't think a lot of people are talking about. I've heard all the talks, coming up and leading up to this game. Oh, it's about Bill. It's about Tom. But, it's really about Tom coming back to the place that made him. 100%. Seeing all the fans that made him. You know what I'm saying?
Running out of that tunnel for the other
on the
team.
Opposite side. Like, I've never ran out on the tunnel on this side before. The fuck is this feeling? So, you have to remember, all that shit is getting coincides and put into him, and most importantly, put into his mental. Where now he's not only just thinking about the plays and knowing that he has a little bit better players, but just those first jittery feelings. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Coming back to where it all began.
And that's where we got to capitalize on maybe a hot start, have our defense come off fire and maybe force him into a turnover or something until he settles in and work a lead. 2 quick things I want to mention real quick with this game.
Yeah, let's do it.
The one thing that the storyline that I am increasingly more interested in seeing, as obviously I want to see how Brady plays and how Belichick counters Brady and schemes for him. Thanks. But I'm very curious to see how young Mac Jones plays, because let's forget, everyone keeps talking about Brady versus Belichick, Brady versus the Patriots, the whole this and that. Everyone's forget right now that Mac Jones has to step into a primetime game on Sunday night in what is very much so almost a must-win game, or else you're going to be 1-3. And you're facing the dude who is not only the greatest of all time, but literally he built your franchise, and you are trying to fill his shoes right now. You're going up against the greatest. You're in his house. You're playing for his coach, for his team under center, doing his job. How does Mac Jones react? That's the first big thing that I really, really want to see. The second thing, though, that it really doesn't feel like this, but this is the reality of it. After the first 3 weeks of the season, everyone's talking about the Buccaneers look incredible. They're probably a shoe-in favorite to make it back to the Super Bowl, that type of shit. And people saying the Patriots playing really disappointing, lots of mistakes. Like, are we out of it already? What's wrong with us? All that stuff. Couldn't be two opposite ends of the spectrum. Right. If we go in and win on Sunday night, not only did we just beat the Buccaneers, but now we're both 2-2. Now the Buccaneers are 2-2. Tom Brady and the Bucs are 2-2, and Mac Jones and the Patriots are 2-2. And at that point, everything gets balanced out. Everything is balanced out. This is a huge, huge opportunity. And if the Patriots win, I don't think the rest of the NFL is going to be able is ready to wake up on Monday and say, "Oh, damn, the Bucs are 500." The Patriots are back to 500 and they just won. Like, what's going on? That could throw a lot of chaos into the NFL if the Patriots come out Sunday night and win.
I'm gonna work backwards from what you just said. The whole league is gonna be shook if that ever happens, because that'll be 2 weeks in a row that Tom Brady lost a game, and not only did he just lose a game, he lost to Bill in Foxborough under Mac.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, the league is going to be put on notice, and they're going to be fucking shaking in their boots.
Right.
On the opposite side of that, I don't think people are going to be taking Tampa Bay that seriously.
You think?
I really don't. Because they're going to be looking at like, oh, who did the Patriots play? They're going to look at the schedule. They're going to look at the little stats. That's how they're going to go about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I guarantee you those people are not watching the pass game. No matter if they have red zone or if they're out of the state, whatever. Unless you're in the state, you've been watching the games, you're like, oh, that shouldn't have happened. Now they're going to give more discredit to the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Right.
But even more to my point of what you were saying, Mac is just a cold-blooded killer, bro. He's just a cold-blooded killer. When he scored his first touchdown,
man's cold.
He is cold.
That man is cold.
And this is how I know he's cold. When he scored his first touchdown and they tried to give him the ball,
he didn't want it. He didn't want it.
Nah, keep it. Like, I'm trying to win this game. That's the mentality that you want your fucking quarterback, your franchise quarterback to have. Like, yeah, that was cool and all, but I'm trying to win this game. I'm trying to get more. I'm trying
He's
to
locked in.
Lock
He's
the fuck
locked
in. You feel me? Lock the fuck in, because he locked the gates mentally.
Yeah.
And I bet he wanted to physically lock the gates too, because he was like, yo, I'm here to win the game. You guys drafted me this high to win games. Yeah. I'm going to go out and win games.
Exactly.
So that's the mentality that I believe that he has, and I feel like he's not going to get out of that shit, because that's the type of person that he is. Like, straight up, like, he is that dude.
100%. And don't forget, look, we had a down year last year, and we had a transition quarterback.
It's COVID, man.
It was COVID year. It was, a weird season. We didn't have an off season. We had a transition quarterback. And we missed the playoffs for the first time in a long time, right? But let's not forget that we're still the Patriots, and for the last 2 decades, we have a culture of winning and a culture of performing. And not only just winning at the highest level, whether that's big games, playoff games, conference championships, Super Bowls, right?
Right.
Mac Jones knows that, and he doesn't want to be patted on the back for throwing a touchdown or making the right read. He wants to win, okay? He wants to come in here, and he says he knows that as fans, we're only going to pat our rookie quarterback on the back for making the right decision so long. And eventually it's going to be, all right, cool. Now can you win? Can you take us to the playoffs? Can you take us to the Super Bowl? We're past the point. I think that for these first 3 games, they showed us what Mac can play. He's a smart decision maker, and he seems to be mentally tough and have a good head on his shoulders. Okay,
very.
So I'm very quickly moving past like the honeymoon stage of being like, "Wow, Mac, great job! You're showing me you can be an NFL quarterback." And now I'm very quickly pivoting towards, "All right, Mac, win a fucking game. Win a game because we got a great defense. We have weapons. We still got Bill Belichick, and we're the Patriots. Win a game, get me to the playoffs, make another run."
You're absolutely right. We cannot forget that this man is coming from Alabama, and he was still behind 2 of the other fucking top-tier quarterbacks in the league right now.
Right.
Not even talking about just for college. Like, they are the top-tier quarterbacks in the league right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, he has all that shit, and he's ready to prove it to everyone, I believe. I really believe that, because he also knows that we're in New England, and we can only tolerate bullshit for so long.
100%.
Because we're going to smell that shit from a mile away, and then we're going to address you on that shit.
100%.
And after we address you, how are you going to handle that? How are you going to react?
Exactly. Look,
You know what I mean?
we as fans, we got to accept that we're not going to be making the AFC Championship every year anymore and winning, 1 out of every 3 Super Bowls. Those days are over. But I feel bad for the dude who has to break that news to New England, because that first dude that misses the playoffs a couple times or loses a few playoff games or falls short in the Super Bowl, they're going to have a real rough welcoming as New England fans get used to what it's like to be a fan of every other team in the NFL. So I hope Mac knows that, and he's aware of the fact that, hey man, we know that you're not Tom. We also like to win around here. We expect to win. So
I'm so curious, right? I mean, this is a little bit away from the football side of things, but how much money do you think Gillette Stadium and the Kraft Enterprises are going to be making off this game? These kids are probably through the fucking roof, dude. I saw some guys, they were like, oh, we got a couple tickets, $800 a pop for 2, $800 for one for each, $800 for each, or for one of them. And it was just like, oh, we have back level tickets. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. I feel like the tickets either it's sold out or it's just almost impossible to pay for.
Well, so I can speak to this because I've been following the tickets very carefully.
Yeah,
right.
Break this one down.
A few months ago, this is actually kind of funny. So a few months ago, the cheapest ticket you could find, like you said, for bleacher seats, right, was $1,000, $1,100. That was the cheapest seat available in the market.
He's not wrong.
My God.
And I know people that paid upwards of $1,500 even for a ticket, right? And that's not a club seat. That's not, third row on the 50-yard line. That's up there, right? $1,500, so that's up there. This week, I've been monitoring the tickets very closely. They're dropping. You can get a ticket now for under $500. Still very expensive, but it's very, very expensive. But when you put it in the context that some of these dudes paid $1,500 for this ticket a few months ago, I mean, it's kind of a steal if you think about it. Most people who paid for a ticket for this game paid $750 to $1,000 or more.
Yep.
Most people.
I'm not one of them.
No, I know. But I'm thinking about paying maybe 3 or 4.
Got a whole lot of money.
I'm not gonna lie.
Seriously, if it gets to that point on Saturday night, I'm like, all right.
I'm thinking about 3 or 400, bro, to see the most anticipated game ever.
I got a check.
Look at my phone. I think
that's $300, right?
Fuck it. Yeah, do it.
Let's do it, bro. The rest is Monday's problem. Exactly.
That's Future Steve's problem. It's Future Steve's problem.
Exactly.
Currency don't have to worry about it.
You feel me?
Future SK got to worry about it.
No. But yeah, I mean, but I mean, anyway, we got, honestly, that's pretty much the big topics that we wanted to get into.
We're going to have a lot more next
week. We got a lot more next week.
You know what? We should worry about Justin's hairline next, and then we'll start talking about next topics.
Why is he on your ass like that for? Oh, shit. I see it now. Because of the snapback. I was like, what you talking about? Yeah, he came in for fire, boy.
Oh, man, you can see me through that computer. All right. Damn. All right. I guess that camera really must be picking it up then. Damn.
It's picking everything.
Oh, shit.
For real.
Well, all right, real quick before we go, just a couple other things. Aaron Rodgers back on track, leading a game-winning drive against San Fran and making a very intentional comment after the game with a big smile on his face saying, we're going to have fun on the plane ride home. We're going to enjoy this one. That's a man who is literally loving the fact that everyone thought he was a bum. Week 1 came around. Everyone thought they knew he was a bum. And now he's like, nah.
That boy tough.
Don't count me out.
Yeah, he's tough.
Don't count me out.
He wants to play. You know he wants to win. Don't count him out.
100%. And then also, too, real quick, Raiders still coming out, beating Miami. Granted, they didn't have Tua, but Jacoby balled out and did pretty much everything he could. Raiders still winning a tough game, being 3-0. A lot of people surprised about that. And then the Bengals went into Pittsburgh. Joe Burrow, them boys, that Bengals defense. Everyone thought that was going to be the worst team in the division.
Ben Roethlisberger is done. He's over.
But Jamar Chase is on the rise.
Get him out of there.
Jamar Chase proving everybody wrong after people made fun of him, including us, some of us. We made fun of him too in the offseason, dropping balls, saying he couldn't see it without the white stripe. And that man is looking dangerous. Him and Joe Burrow, that connection is getting better. That Bengals defense is balling out. And here we go. They head into week 4 as the lone number 1 seed in the AFC North when everyone thought they were going to be last. That's the big part to watch. Look, hey, it's only 3 games. A lot of shit happens in the NFL through 3 games. We've seen it before. Teams have started 0-3 and then made the playoffs. Teams started 3-0 and then not made the playoffs. You know, we'll see. It's a long season, but a couple surprises in the NFL. Things are looking good for some of those young players. Other than that, guys, I think we got another great week of football coming up. We got the Bengals and Jaguars tomorrow night, another big weekend, and then obviously Sunday night we got the Bucks and the Patriots, the Goat Bowl. Goat Bowl. We'll catch you guys obviously next week. After that, we'll have our thoughts, takes on everything football related, everything Patriots and Bucks related, whatever else has been happening in sports. In the meantime, you know where to catch us. Follow us on Instagram at @thetrenches_HB. Follow us on YouTube. Get out there and check us, view our videos, view our content. Check out the rest of the Hedge Better stuff, the rest of the Hedge Better shows. Give this guy Don Gordon a follow and a shout out at Worldwide Wines. Catch him doing his thing.
Oh no!
Yeah,
stop.
catch this man doing his thing.
Worldwide Wines.
Catch that man doing his thing. Trust me, he knows what he's talking about. And we'll catch you next week. SK, Don Gordon, J Fine, The Trenches, presented by Hedge Better. We're out.
Amen. Listen and follow, baby. Be easy.